that we will give you Harinam initiation into the Maha Mantra. And you should chant this mantra 1,00,000 times every day. 64 rounds. And your Diksha mantra, the Gopal mantra, will be given to you by Narottam Das Thakur. They had never met Narottam Das Thakur yet. I don't even know if he was born yet. They told him that sometime in the future, when Narottam Das Thakur is 12 years old, he will leave his home in Ketari Gram and come here to Vrindavan and take initiation from Lokanath Goswami. And then he will return on the order of Jiva Goswami. He will return to his village in Ketari Gram. And someday, in the future years, you should surrender to him and become his disciple. Rupa Chandra remained for several months learning the Vaishnava philosophy from Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and all of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. He learned about the supreme glories of Vrindavan, about the topmost path of pure devotional service as it is performed by the gopis of Vrindavan. He was taught about the glories of the holy name and the total necessity of lovingly serving the Vaishnavas, seeking the association of the Vaishnavas. After months of living in Vrindavan, they told him that there is a great king. What was his name? Raj Narasingha? You should go and you should find him. This Raj Narasingha Dev. Together you will both, after many years, find shelter in the feet of Narottam Das Thakur. So on their instruction, he left there, went to Jagannath Puri, and eventually one day when he was going to bathe in the Ganges, he met Raj Narasingha. And he took him, and Rupa, actually there's a nice story I forgot to tell. One day when Rupa Chandra was sitting with Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, they all saw he was developing such deep devotion that Lord Narayan appeared right in front of all of them and entered into Rupa Chandra's heart. Rupa Goswami said, from this day on, your name will be Rupa Narayan. So Rupa Narayan went to this Raj Divya Narasingha, and he was like the court pundit for the king. Years and years passed. One day some Brahmins came to the king. Rupa Narayan was sitting there, and they had serious complaints. They said, you as the king must protect the Brahminical culture. It is your duty, you must. There is this Kayasta Sudra named Narottam. He's living in Ketari. He's spoiling our culture. He must be stopped. First of all, he's a Shudra, And he's performing the great offense of giving initiation, diksha, to Brahmins. Not only that, instead of studying various Vedantic scriptures, he's always dancing and screaming out loud the names of God. These names of God are meant to be silently repeated within the heart. This is sacrilegious. And he's misguiding the society. Tens and thousands of people are following him. And you know what the result is? People are giving up the worship of demigods. And worse than that, they're no longer eating meat. They're becoming vegetarians. They're no longer drinking wine. They're giving up these sacred rituals of drinking wine and eating meat. They're polluting the whole atmosphere. You must punish them. Raj Narasimha looks at Rup Narayan. Rup Narayan looks at the king. They said, this looks like the perfect opportunity to meet Narottam Das Thakur. So the king said, yes, all of you, we will go to Ketari Gram, and you can have a debate against Narottam Das Thakur. And if you defeat him in the debate, then we will stop him. That was just a ploy. Actually, they were going to surrender to him. Should I continue? So the king is on his royal palanquin. And Rup Narayan, the royal pundit, is also on a palanquin. And all the Brahmins, the very learned, scholarly Brahmins, they were also in royal procession. And they had so many students accompanying them. There was a town, a village just outside of Ketari Gram, where they stopped overnight. Meanwhile, Narottam Das Thakur was sent a message by the king that they were coming. So he was making nice arrangements to greet them. But his disciples, Ramchandra Kaviraj, Ganga Narayan Chakravarti, Govinda Kaviraj, they all decided to meet the scholars before they arrived in Ketari Gram. Now I told you a little about Ramchandra Kaviraj. Should I say something briefly about the others? There were two brothers named Hari Rama and Ramakrishna. And their father was a great devotee of Bhavani. And he ordered them to get some goat cubs, to purchase a whole herd of goat cubs, little baby goats, to bring back for the Durga Puja, to sacrifice them. So they crossed the river Padmavati and they were bringing the goats back. And they happened to see Ramchandra Kaviraj and Narottam Das Thakur. They were very beautiful. Ramchandra Kaviraj said, what is this? Where are you going with these goats? Oh, they're being offered to Goddess Durga. Ramchandra Kaviraj and Narottam Das Thakur preached to them. And they let all their goats free and came back to Ketari Gram and became the disciples. One became a disciple of Narottam Das Thakur, the other Ramchandra Kaviraj. They studied Srimad Bhagavatam under them, learned how to worship the deities, and along with Narottam Das and Ramachandra Thakur's associates, spent the day in Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan. After about a month of studying with their gurus, they returned home. Father was absolutely furious. Nonsense, what do you do? Where were you? And where are the goats? We let them free. What? I was waiting for you. You spoiled everything. And they started preaching to them about chanting Hare Krishna. And Father was furious. He hated Vaishnavas, hated them. You will go to hell for this offense. So Father brought some of his pundits to debate, and the two children defeated him. And then the Father called another Digvijay Pandit from Mithila named Murari and called him all the way there to debate the children. The children already started converting other Brahmins. This was really becoming seriously. And even the pujari of the temple became a Vaishnav. The Father was really upset. So Murari came, this elderly scholar who had defeated thousands of others in his life. All the way from Mithila came to debate these children, and they defeated him. Murari turned to the Father and said, "These Vaishnavas are very, very strong. There's nothing we can do." So he was so disturbed. He was actually, due to stress, he was on the verge of death. At that time, Durga Devi appeared to him and said, "Because you are offensive to the Vaishnavas, I am going to sever your head." So he became very serious then. And she said, "My worshipable Lord is Krishna, who has appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You should go and surrender to Krishna and follow the line of your sons. Otherwise, you will die." So he became a great devotee. Now there was a great Brahmin scholar named Ganga Narayan Chakravarti. And he happened to see the conversion of Ramakrishna and Hari Rama. Hari Rama, Hari Krishna. Hari Rama and Ramakrishna, yes. And he was astounded. What is the power of this Narottam Das Thakur? So he approached. He was just watching the whole scene. And he had a vision where Narottam Das Thakur appeared to him. And he surrendered his life in that vision. And the next day when he was bathing in the Ganga, Narottam Das Thakur and Ramchandra Kaviraj came from climbing down a hill, exactly the same form as that vision. And Ganga Narayan Chakravarti surrendered to him. When he surrendered, that's when these other Brahmins became so absolutely enraged. These are our best Brahmins taking initiation from a Shudra. Impossible. Can't allow this. Now Ramchandra Kaviraj had a brother named Govinda, who was a very, very great devotee of Durga Devi. And he couldn't understand why his brother surrendered to Srinivasacharya. But then he got really sick, and he was on his deathbed. And he wrote a letter to Ramchandra Kaviraj. Please, come and let me see you before I die. I'm in my last days. But Ramchandra was so busy serving his guru, he didn't really pay attention. He got letter after letter. Finally, he showed it to Srinivasacharya. And he said, Srinivas, if you go, you can deliver him. Meanwhile, as Govinda was about to die, he prayed to Durga Devi to save him. Because there were people around, Durga Devi spoke to him. She did not give vision, she spoke to him. She said, you have served me with so much love and so much devotion for so many years, and I am very pleased with you. So I am going to reveal to you the secret of all secrets. My worshipable Lord is Krishna. Love of Krishna is the real goal of life, and you will attain that when you give your heart and soul to follow in the footsteps of your brother and become the disciple of Srinivasacharya. When Ramchandra Kaviraj and Srinivasacharya arrived, Govinda surrendered. Just before his death. Srinivasacharya was given some sweetmeats as prasad. He ate it. Ramchandra Kaviraj took remnants and gave it to his brother when he was just on the verge of death. And by eating the remnants of Srinivasacharya, that little sweet, he got a little better. Then the relatives cooked a big feast. And Srinivasacharya offered it to Krishna and his Gurudev. And after eating it, Ramchandra Kaviraj gave the full-fledged Maha-Maha-Prasad of Srinivasacharya to Govinda. And after eating it, his disease was completely eradicated and he was in perfect health, gradually. Srinivasacharya, Ramchandra Kaviraj taught Govinda the Siddhanta of the Goswamis. And it was at that time that he wrote a beautiful song and sang it to Srinivasacharya and Ramchandra Kaviraj. They were exceedingly pleased to hear this song. Bajahu re mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charana Ravindare. Bajahu re mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charana Ravindare. Dulabha manava janama satsange. Dulabha manava janama satsange. Taraha ebhavo sindare. Abhaya charana ravindare. This beautiful song was written at the time when Govinda, who was given the name Govinda Kaviraj, surrendered his heart, his soul, his life to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission and initiation from Srinivasacharya. So when all of these very, very angry Brahmins were in the village waiting to tear to pieces Narottam Das Thakur's vicious misconceptions, Ramchandra Kaviraj, Govinda Kaviraj, Ganga Narayan Chakravarti, they all went to that village disguised as very, very simple shopkeepers. One sat on the roadside selling betel nuts. The other were selling clay pots. Another was selling spices. They just looked like very, very simple, poor, uneducated merchants. They didn't even have a shop. They were just sitting on the ground with a few things. So the students of the Brahmins went shopping for their gurus. And they hear these merchants discussing in perfect Sanskrit with one another. What is this? Merchants don't speak Sanskrit. They said, oh, we are the disciples of Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur, that rascal, he's destroying the whole Vedic culture. Who has taught our gurus? They said, bring your nonsense, rascal, offensive gurus today to debate with us. So they went and the Brahmins. This is what the merchants are saying. The merchants complained to Rup Narayan and the king. They said, well, we think you better go debate with them. What's the problem? They're just betel nut sellers. So they went to debate, and Narottam and Rup Narayan, the king, also went with them. And there was a debate with these great Brahmin gurus, and all of their ideas were smashed to pieces by the betel nut seller and the seller. The king told the Brahmins that actually what happened is the Brahmins were so defeated, they said to the king, we think that we better just go home. We better go home. He said, no, we think, we think. You've been defeated by the insignificant peasant students of Narottam Das Thakur. You want to go in there and debate against him? We think you should go and surrender to him. He said, no, we should just go home. There's no way we could stand before him. That night, all the Brahmins had the same dream. Durga appeared to them. How dare you insult Narottam Das Thakur? He is the foremost devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Radha and Krishna. And you have offended him. You go and you surrender to him and you become his students and you serve him faithfully, or with this chopper we're going to cut off your heads. They woke up the next morning and explained this to Rup Narayan and the kings. They said, yes, let us go. They all went. And all the Brahmins surrendered to Narottam Das Thakur and became his disciple. And Rup Narayan and the king received Diksha mantras from them. Then the king's wife, the queen, came and became his faithful servant. And in this way, Hari Kirtan and Hari Katha were spreading in all directions by the power of these Vaishnavas. Through parampara, the power of the blessings and the love of these acharyas is flowing like the river Ganges. And His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he has come with this same, with this same flow of mercy. What we find in Srila Prabhupada's books, what we find coming from Srila Prabhupada's lotus mouth, is the love, the wisdom, and the compassion of all of these great acharyas. And Sri Sri Radha and Krishna's eternal love for all living entities. Today's verse is so beautiful. Parikshit Maharaj is speaking to Shukadev Goswami. Because of my vow on the verge of death, I have given up even drinking water. Yet because I am drinking the nectar of topics about Krishna, which is flowing from the lotus mouth of your Lordship, my hunger and thirst, which are extremely difficult to bear, cannot hinder me. It is this flow of nectar that Srila Prabhupada has given all of us. The nectar of Krishna Katha, the nectar of Krishna Kirtan. And when we learn to value the loving service of the Vaishnavas, when that service attitude becomes our prominent purpose of living, then our hearts are fertile to receive and be nourished by that river of nectar that is flowing from the mouth of Srila Prabhupada. And when we have that service attitude toward Guru and Vaishnavas, through our life and through our words, that flow of nectar can manifest even from us. There is no more beautiful miracle, and there is no greater pleasure than to see how great souls can empower even small living beings like us, the instruments of their mercy. All of these wonderful personalities that we're talking about today, they were not only absorbed in Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan, but they gave their lives to sharing that supreme blessing with others. To be an instrument of theirs, to be Krishna to others, to share Krishna with each other is the ultimate good fortune. Vaishnav society is a society where we transcend all barriers of differences, where the different collisions of false ego are not taken seriously, where we make our relationships on a higher platform of sharing Krishna with each other. How do we share Krishna with each other? That is real friendship. That is the most intimate form of congenial love. By chanting together, by dancing together, by speaking about Krishna and devotional service to Krishna together, and by serving one another, by helping one another to overcome the obstacles, the internal and external obstacles that inevitably will come upon all of us. His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj wrote a beautiful book about caring for Vaishnavas, wherein he has documented with quotes of Srila Prabhupada what a prominent, essential necessity it is for our spiritual progress. To love a Vaishnav is to love Krishna. To be envious of a Vaishnav is to be envious of Krishna. Rupnarayan got a major part of his education here in Pune. But his education actually culminated when he associated with Vaishnavas like Jiva Goswami and Narottam Das Thakur and learned the art of being the humble servant of the servant of the servant. The ultimate aspiration that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. Let us pray for that. And let us strive for that. And Krishna will take our prayers seriously when we strive to put them into action. To be the servant of the servant of the servant. Then, when we chant the holy names together, a shower of love of God will fill our hearts and purify the world.